Right, I'm sat here with Chris the Wolf Thompson, and you've got another great international opportunity in front of you. In fact, it's in a couple of weeks' time. You're going to go to Birmingham in the UK. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm really excited for the opportunity. You know, it's on a Matchroom show, so it's on a very big stage. So I'm just really excited to have that kind of a platform and show what I can do, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned Matchroom, and obviously Sivanati Nanchinga is actually signed to that, and you're in the same gym as him. Good feeling, obviously, getting on the big time?
Yeah, you know, it's a great feeling getting, you know, at the biggest stage in the world. You know, as a kid aspiring to be a professional athlete, you always have dreams or have those visions of performing on those big stages and doing those big events, you know, whatever sport it is. And, you know, now I've got that opportunity to perform on such a big stage, and, you know, I'm really excited. Like you say, Sivanati is with Matchroom, and you know, what a fighter, and you know, hopefully I can follow in his footsteps and put on a similar performances to what he put on his debut.
Well, we've seen as of late South Africans going on the road and really performing abroad. Even if we cross over to MMA, you know, Dricus du Plessis shocking the world and getting big title shots. So in this fight you'll be coming up against a UK prospect, Solomon Dacres. Good boxer, 6-0, good fundamentals.
Yeah, you know, look, obviously I would say it's the time for the Africans at the moment, you know. You see Dricus doing amazing things in the UFC. You see crazy things like Themba Karimba getting approached by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And, you know, there's kind of a spotlight on, you know, African combat sports, I would say, at the moment. So it's pretty exciting to, like, be with those guys, you know, and be able to perform on those stages. You know, obviously fighting Solomon, he's the current English heavyweight champion. You know, me obviously being the former South African heavyweight champion, you know, it makes for an interesting story. And, you know, I'm excited to put myself up against them and, you know, see how we compare.
Yeah, the last fight you had, not the last fight, you had the fight, well, in the last fight you've had, let me put it this way, you fought up a shorter opponents. Dacres, same height as you, so that's a good sort of a physical matchup.
Yeah, you know, obviously my last fight in Russia against Evgeny was a completely different fight. He was a short fighter. I'll be honest, I thought he was going to come out banging a lot more than what he did, you know, with his carry ratio and the guys that he has stopped. The game plan is completely different with Solomon. To be honest with you, the game plan actually favors more to my style with Solomon than what it did with Evgeny. So it's easier for me to implement my positive attributes in this fight than it was in my previous fight. So I'm really excited. It's also nice to fight somebody the same size as you, you know. It makes those landing those punches a little bit easier. You don't have to punch down, don't have to arch your back so much. So, you know, I'm very excited.
Yeah, and you must have taken a lot of confidence from the Evgeny performance, because obviously that's the man that defeated Deontay Wilder at the Olympics. It's well documented, and you almost seem to, in my opinion, I thought you edged the fights, and I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, you know, look, it's always tough going on the road. You got to win extremely convincingly, and look, I watched the tape back maybe 10, 15 times. I feel I won the fight pretty clearly. I had myself up by 2 rounds. But you know, that it is what it is. It's a risk you take. It's a risk that kind of we have to take. Boxing in its current state here in this country is not favourable for us. So, you know, we've got to go on the road, and if you want work and if you're looking to make it lucrative, you got to have the guts to jump on the road and fight these guys in their hometowns. And I'm willing to do that, you know. I'm willing to go to Russia when they have a war and go fight a Russian. I'm willing to go to Birmingham and fight. He calls himself Birmingham's finest. So let's go there. Let's find out what they got to offer, and at least we get action. You know, let's get on the road and let's do it.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, because there's not a lot of opportunities that are happening here. You have ventured out into the likes of Tanzania. Kind of speaks to the landscape of South African boxing at the moment. It's not really great.
No, look, I think saying not great is being very kind. Yeah, man, we're in South African boxing is in a bad space at the moment, and we're kind of forced to go on the road, you know. Especially if you want fair opportunity, if you're looking to fight regularly and have even fights and get paid what it's worth, putting your life on the line, then that's what you got to do, you know. Otherwise, you got to wait around and you got to fight maybe once a year here, which is obviously not viable, you know. So It's my choice. I would rather go on the road and take the chance and fight these guys in the house. I think it's better, and it's exciting. You know, it's a blessing to see the world doing what I want to do.
Right, so you were in the UK not too long ago as well, getting into some work, and you spent a couple of weeks there. So you should be familiar with the UK environment, let's put it that way.
Yeah, look, specifically Birmingham. I spent like 4.5 months there last year, and then I went back later on in the year. I went to Liverpool for 2 months. So I would say I spent like 6.5 months last year in the UK. So I'm very familiar with the scene there. I'm familiar with the guys there. And look, especially heavyweight boxing is rife there. It's alive. It's the glamour division there. There's lots of heavyweight guys there. Whereas here in South Africa, all the heavyweights are playing rugby. All the heavyweights there are boxing. Whereas all the big guys in our country play rugby. So all the big guys there box. Obviously they got their rugby team, but here we play rugby. In South Africa we play rugby. We don't box. So all the big guys are busy running on the rugby fields, they're not boxing in a ring. Whereas there it's the complete opposite. All the big, really big guys are boxing.
Alright, so you mentioned you spent quite a bit of time in Birmingham. Did you come across your opponent while you were there, or do you feel like he might have had a couple of scouts and said, hey, we're going to fight this Chris Thompson one day?
I don't know, to be honest. It's possible. But no, I didn't see Solomon when I was there. I didn't have an interaction with him either. Obviously, I had a whole bunch of interactions with a whole bunch of fighters, which was a great experience. But look, if they have scouts, there's scouts all around the world, So I hope they did watch, and hopefully they liked what they saw, and now I get a nice big opportunity, and I'm going to seize it with both hands,
Well, let's speak about the opportunity. You mentioned early in the interview that Matchroom obviously is going to be putting on the fights, and it doesn't get bigger than that, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get any bigger. Eddie Hearn, the biggest promoter in the world, the biggest stage. The biggest platform, DAZN. The fight will be live on DAZN, and the way I see it is, it's 10 rounds. It's 30 minutes for the wolf time. It's showtime for me. It's 30 minutes on the biggest platform to put my sponsors on the biggest platform, to put a skill and time that I put into the sport. At least I get to display it on such a stage. What an honor. Thank you very much to Matchroom. Thank you very much to Eddie Hearn from Matchroom. I'm excited.
You mentioned earlier it's heavyweight boxing, so one shot changes everything. Is that what you're planning on doing on the night?
Yeah, look, one punch changes everything in heavyweight boxing, as I know, as everyone knows. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face and it lands clean, and that is all it takes. It takes just one punch from either of us, from anyone in the ring. When it's a heavyweight fight, it's always 50-50. Anything can happen. I've had fights where I thought, man, I'm going to clean this guy out, and they land a good punch and it changes the course of the fight. So, look, we are looking to stop him. Obviously, we're going there to his hometown, so we kind of have to stop him. Otherwise, the judges are not going to give me the fight.
All right, so you're there in a couple of weeks' time. Actually, the clock is ticking. Next week?
Next weekend, yeah. So next weekend, 9th of August, live on DAZN. Let's go.
What's your message to the South African fans that will be tuning in?
To everybody that tunes in and follows me, it's always overwhelming. You don't realize it. I always say this, and I mean this by everything in me. Your biggest fan is somebody that you don't know, and your biggest critique is somebody that you know super personally. So, to everybody that tunes in and watches me fight, sends me messages, it's overwhelming. It's the only way to describe it. I appreciate it so much, and the biggest blessing for me is to inspire young kids, to show them that they can do the exact same as me, and they can perform wherever they want and do whatever they want, and as long as they put in the work, it's all achievable.
100%. And look, that's all it is. You want to inspire the next generation, because there's a big gap between the next generation and where we are now. What's your message for Solomon?
To Solomon, thank you very much for the fight. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. I'm coming in hot, and I think I'm bringing something to the table that you haven't seen before. So good luck to you.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Chris. And then lastly, any thank yous, any shout outs for anyone else out there?
Thank you to all my sponsors. I appreciate you guys. And thank you to all my fans. And you know, also thank you to myself for putting in the work. And you know, we here. It's not easy. It's not easy to do what we do, you know. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So thank you to Matchroom as well. And thank you for everybody for tuning in and just following my career. I really appreciate it very greatly. And we'll see you next weekend.